Today, we're talking about Pluto. I just got done watching the first episode. This is going to be my first impression of this anime. I will be making a full review once I get done with all 8 episodes because each episode is an hour long, okay? So it's definitely probably going to take me a little weekend to get through. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. There will be minor spoilers, but essentially Pluto follows the main character, which I'm not even going to attempt his name because I'm probably going to butcher it, but he's a detective that's investigating a series of murders that has been happening in the city, in the world, that are essentially killing robots and humans. And that's a big deal because robots are not able to harm or kill humans. It's kind of like engraved into their laws, into their being, right? So the fact that a robot killed a human, that's definitely a big deal. Now, we don't know exactly who's behind this series of murders, right? This is a murder mystery, which of course is something great because this was written by no other than Naoki Urasawa, the creator of Monster, which of course that's already a great murder mystery. But we're here for Pluto, right? Now, the story, episode 1, definitely did a great job at creating that, mystery, creating that intrigue, because it definitely piqued my interest, right? I want to know why these murders are happening, right? Who's behind these murders? What is their end goal? How are all these victims connected? What is the connection between each other? Is there even a connection, right? How are the victims selected? All of these are questions that I have from episode 1, and hopefully the answers to these questions are revealed to us in later episodes and they actually deliver. But if they do deliver, this anime is definitely going to be put on a whole top tier of greatness. Now, I think episode 1 did a great job at humanizing these robots, right? That's what I like about episode 1. I actually feel like these robots are essentially humans. I mean, if it wasn't because they look differently, I would not be able to tell that they are not humans, right? I mean, even some minor characters like the robot that was killed, the police robot, he has a wife. He has a life outside of his workplace, right? And his wife, we see that she's actually distraught that her husband died, right? Those are human feelings that these robots are experiencing. And the question has to be asked, right? Is this just like the AI imitating human emotions, or are these actually human emotions that are taking place, right? Did these robots evolve past like a robot, like just a simple machine? Are they actually feeling all these different feelings? And I think the second half of this episode did a great job at showing us that, right? We got to meet Duncan, an old, bitter man, blind man that, he just seems to hate the world, right? And, he has his own reasons. But then we also get to meet another robot, Nurse number 2, which when you actually dive into his backstory and what he had to do, like during the war, which, he killed thousands and thousands and thousands of robots, and now he's over here taking care of an old man. And we see that there's kind of like a common thing with some of these robots. I mean, the first initial robot that was murdered, he was known to actually be in a war zone as well, and then kind of switched up his life to be more like, in tune with nature and stuff like that. So again, these robots are doing very human things, and we see the humans in this episode, they love these robots. I mean, they were crying for the robots and stuff like that. So again, I think the whole storyline between, it's a robot human, because I mean, they're even dreaming, feeling emotions and stuff like that. At what point does it stop being a piece of machine, and at what point does it start being like an actual being, right? And I think that's going to be explored later on as well, and I cannot wait for that as well, right? And then of course, the biggest thing in episode 1 is the whole murder mystery, right? I really want to know how they're going to dive deeper into this. What mystery is going to be uncovered here in the future episodes, right? Because this is just bigger than a simple, a random robot is murdering random people. I do not think that's going to be the case. It's definitely going to be connected in some way, and I'm here for it. But episode 1, definitely some great stuff. I mean, I love the characters. The main character, even though, he seems to be kind of like emotionless, he does seem to have some sort of emotions in him. I mean, whenever we got to see that scene of the one person saying that, all of this is just a robot parts, it's just junk, that affected him deeply, right? I mean, he's talking about going on vacation, right? So again, I feel like the lines between a human and a robot are definitely being tested here, and I cannot wait to see that. Now, this is also taking place in the Astro Boy universe, and I honestly feel like if you're like a huge Astro Boy fan, you might actually enjoy this more than like somebody like me that really doesn't know anything about Astro Boy. Now, and I could be wrong about this, but maybe, just maybe, there is some Easter eggs in the anime and the manga that, like an Astro Boy fan might be able to recognize and actually enjoy even more, right? I mean, not me, because again, I don't know nothing about Astro Boy. I mean, I know the anime. I know I've seen a couple episodes back when I was a child, but aside from that, I don't really have a lot of connection with Astro Boy, right? I'm definitely going into this world blind. I don't know if this, themes were actually talked about in Astro Boy. They could have, but this is a seinen, so here we're probably gonna see a more mature take on it, and I'm here for it. Again, episode 1, absolutely great. If I'm gonna put a rating on it right now, I would probably say, a solid 9 out of 10. There were some CGI stuff that, it looked great. The CGI, is noticeable, but not that noticeable. But, I don't mind it because it doesn't look totally bad, right? That's really the only kind of negative thing that I have to say about episode 1, right? Just really the CGI. And maybe, I could see some people might not like the pacing of it. Some people really prefer to watch more action-packed anime. And, episode 1 didn't have that. Maybe in the future episodes, there is going to be a lot more fights, more action, crazy stuff happening. And, some people might like that, right? But at least for me, as of right now, episode 1 strictly, definitely just working on the characters, establishing the world building, establishing, the different relationships between humans and robots. And, again, blurring that line as to what makes a human, right? So anyways, I'm going to continue watching. Probably going to start, continue and finish the whole thing probably by the weekend, and yeah, I'm gonna make a full review on it. Stay tuned. But in the meantime, let me know what you think of episode 1. Are you gonna keep watching? Were you not feeling it? Do you think it's a 10 out of 10? Do you think it's greatness? Let me know in the comments, and like always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace out. Boom.